Well, we have been seeing increasingly how, a society like this is really doing such great work in waste segregation. But Amitji, schools, when they start taking the initiative, schools, young people, that's when change really happens. And we've seen this in so many of the campaigns that we've been doing.
Absolutely. I do think that the whole initiative that is coming from schools, from the younger generation, is very important for any such campaign. Children are the soul of every family, and what they do, what they practice is a great inspiration for the elders. And when they meet in their classrooms, they talk to each other, they convey what they did, they do their homework, they play games, but they also talk about what they did regarding Swachh Bharat, and it kind of infiltrates into the rest of the society. Right. And people like to obey what the kid says, particularly elders and parents. They want to either encourage them or they want to follow what they want to do. And that, I think, is a wonderful initiative. So we've had many, today in the program, we have many schools that we've gone to.
Absolutely. So in fact, the Center for Science and Environment has a Green Schools program that rates the green performance of schools from across India. Students audit the consumption of resources within their school premises and find ways to reduce the wastage of precious resources. More than 1,000 schools have participated in this program over the last 2 years, and based on green report cards have found ways of being more resource efficient. Essentially, a green school is a school which uses less resources, harvests its water, values drops, turns waste into resources, is energy and transport efficient. So let's start by going across to one of the top 20 ranked green schools in India, the Shriram School at Aravali in Gurgaon, which has, of course, the Shriram schools have been pledging 5,000 work hours, you will remember, during the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and doing a lot of other work. Pooja Talwar is there. Pooja, what is it that the students there are wanting to do towards waste management, and how do they retain their position as a green school?
Good morning, Vikram. Good morning, Mr. Bachchan. Well, the students and especially the Environment Club is very, very enterprising. Behind me is an experiment underway where they're planning to construct a bench out of bottles. And then I also have the senior members of the Environment Club here with me. Madhav, the school has started a Tetra Pak initiative. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Right. So around 2 years ago, we started something called the Tetra Pak initiative, which is basically where students recycle Tetra Paks. But this year, to further engage and encourage the students, what we're trying to do is take an indirect approach towards the environment. What I've learned is a lot of students, turn off when they hear the words like global warming or environment. They don't find it very interesting. So we're going to try taking an indirect approach, which is basically we're going to have a table, which is going to have a wash basin, scissors, and 2 separate dustbins where students will actually vote with their Tetra Paks. So basically we'll have something like a dustbin with Messi and a dustbin with Ronaldo. So students can engage in an indirect approach to the environment. And I feel like most of the environment problems that we do face is because of the mentality us Indians have. And what we're trying to do over here is to make some like a thought-provoking, engaging activity so the students can actually change their mentality and, build our life towards a more healthier and sustainable environment.
So how far have you been successful?
So we just started off where we're on the way to basically building the 2 bins and having Messi, Ronaldo, and we're trying to make it look very aesthetically appealing. So right now we're just with the beginning process of that. And this year we hope to have a lot of progress on that event.
And also we have a composting unit there, and Ojasvi is going to tell us a bit about that initiative in the school.
Okay, so food wastage is a huge problem in India especially, where a large population does not get the 2 meals per day, and those who are privileged enough to get it, they waste it. We have a lunch hall in our school, and approximately 100 kgs of food is wasted per day. We have a composting pit, however, here.
Yeah, let's go there and take a look.
So we have horticultural waste, which is leaves, dried up leaves, and food scraps. So the primary food scraps, which is vegetable peels, and the basic primary foods that are required to make the further product. We take them, and these are the composting pits. We put them here along with calcium oxide. We allow them to stay here for 25 days, and after those 25 days, we put them out in the sun for 5 days to form khad. So an approximate 200 to 300 kgs of khad is produced per month. And I think that's a huge thing for the school.
It's awesome. And as they say, start them young. We have 2 young members of the Junior Environment Club here with me. So tell me a bit about how are you going to celebrate Earth Day? Which is on the 22nd, right?
We're going to celebrate Earth Day by our event Shridhara. And our environment topics are solar energy, waste management, rainwater harvesting and afforestation.
So what have you learnt by being a member of the Environment Club? What should one do for the environment?
We should grow more trees, and we shouldn't waste anything that is given to us.
And you are going to tell us something about the green open bin.
Yeah, greener bins.
The open, yeah, sorry.
So on every floor we have greener bins. So all the waste paper from the classes is collected there, and then that's recycled. So that's like more about the greener bins. So the paper is collected there, and then it's recycled in the greener bin. It's an area, so it's recycled there.
So yes, Vikram and Mr. Bachchan, you're very enterprising students and a very, very enterprising Environment Club doing their bit for the society.
Yeah, Pooja, I just want to first of all compliment these children for the way they speak about environment and how knowledgeable they are about what environment means and what the atmosphere means, and how wonderful to hear them speak such professional language. I mean, you know, to form a club which is called an environmental club is very unique. When I was in school, we used to have the cricket club or a dramatic club, but we never had these kind of thinking to have an environmental club, and really want to compliment them. What I would like to know is what initiated them to think like this? Who was it that actually taught them to do this? And did they go through some kind of training or what?
Yeah, about the school initiative. Asked you a question about the school initiative.
Okay.
Projects.
So a couple of school initiatives we're going to start off with this year. So one of them is called the basketball bin project, where in a lot of classes students crumple paper and chuck it in the bin like they're playing basketball. So what we actually want to encourage, this is again an indirect approach towards the environment. So we've actually created a prototype of the basketball ring, which is going to be hung over classrooms. So we're going to start with 6th grade to see if it actually works and how the students react to it. And what we're trying to do is only make a separate paper bin, so the students are engaged in an indirect approach, which actually makes the environment a fun subject for them. So that's one of our activities. Then the other thing, like Jasvi just talked about, food wastage. We're trying to reduce food wastage, so we've put up a lot of posters in the lunch hall, we try to engage the students through their emotional sense and get them to understand the problems that we're actually facing in society when it comes to the food wastage. So what we're going to try to do is, have in our assemblies, we're going to talk to the students on a regular basis about how we can take a part and reduce the food wastage that does happen here in India and help contribute to the people who need the food.
Over to you, Vikram and Mr. Bachchan.
Right, Pooja, thank you so much for... Right, Pooja, thank you so much for joining us. Amici.
Yeah, thank you so much, and really wonderful thinking on the part of these students. I mean, just to associate sports with something like environment is so unique because, yes, all of us, are so interested in sports, but to combine that with the process of wanting to change the environment is a wonderful thought. We all do it all the time, we, as he rightly said, we want to throw the garbage as though we're putting the ball into a basketball net. And how wonderful to be able to join that with this campaign and, make it work and make it more friendly in a sense, to be able to operate this whole operation in a very informal manner. But actually you're doing a lot of great work.
अमित जी, पर यही संदेश शायद आप बाकी पाठशालों में भी कहना चाहेंगे, क्योंकि हर एक पाठशाला पूरे देश में किसी न किसी तरह पर्यावरण के बारे में सोच सकते हैं.
सबको सोचना चाहिए, और जैसा कि मैं अभी कहता रहा हूँ, यहाँ की जो हाउसिंग सोसाइटी, विजयनगर हाउसिंग सोसाइटी एक बहुत अच्छा एक उदाहरण बन गया है. इसी तरह अगर हम किसी एक स्कूल को लेकर के उसे उदाहरण बनाते हैं और दूसरों को उनको प्रेरणा देने के लिए, उनको इंस्पायर करने के लिए उनकी बातों को बाकी स्कूलों में भी पहुंचाएं, तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि बाकी स्कूल जो हैं वो भी इनको सुनेंगे. दे विल गेट इंस्पायर्ड बाय इट एंड वांट टू कॉपी देम. आई वुड आल्सो wonder if we can have some kind of a competition between housing societies. You compete with another housing society. Our society is cleaner than yours, and you have an award for it. So everybody gets more involved and interested in winning that competition. So you make it look like a sports initiative, but actually they're working for the environment.
We are, sir. We actually have a competition going on for our urban local bodies, the councils and the corporations, but this is a great idea.
Yeah.
We will also have this on board, And we will have again, like I said, I'm going to go back to my chief minister with all these ideas. But I feel confident that very soon we will have a competition wherein the awards are given by the state government for the best zero waste society.
Yeah.
And we've just started a competition for schools also where they can work in some
Absolutely,
of these areas.
yeah.
So that's always a great idea. Paul, if I can just get you in on your thoughts on what can be done, solid waste management in particular, and then I'm going to come to some other schools and societies in other parts of the country. We are right beneath the flight path, but okay, why don't you carry on?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to give my input. I think a lot has been said already. I feel like the outcome is essential, but also the process and the approach by which we get there. And so just as we've seen today, a bottoms-up approach, a community-led group approach of getting all the self-help groups involved, a ward-by-ward approach of really ensuring that the behavior change is happening, the mindsets are being changed into people, and systematically addressing waste management. It's a huge issue, but I think if we bring together the collective whole, I think we can really make a difference. I think the private sector has a big part to play. We've seen interesting initiatives around CSR marketplaces. You know, it's not about just the brand of a company, but it's about sustainability. It's about monitoring and evaluating, a constant cycle of ensuring that these changes are being made on the ground. And so I think it's a holistic approach to this.
Yeah, he talked about the private sector getting involved, and we have wonderful example of the company Mahindra's who have put up this the Mahindra World City. Vikram, would you just like to introduce?
If we can, let's go across to the Mahindra World City. One of the
This
first.
is in Chennai, and they've actually integrated business with waste segregation and other things, and mainly done a lot of work where they have recycled. They are now almost garbage-free, food wastage-free city. That's fantastic.
Right. Can we just go across there to the Mahindra World City in Chennai? And it's not, we'll just go across to that in a couple of minutes as soon as that's ready. While we wait for that to happen, talking about competitions, you and Ernst & Young and others have been working together with, I'll be on a hygiene index, which essentially also creates a certain amount of competition between cities to see which of them is the most hygienic and the clean. How is that working out, and what are the lessons you're finding and what cities can do to compete with each other?
Yeah, before you say that, just wait for the aircraft.
Separately with it.
I did have a look at the statistics that were prepared, and I found that, New Delhi and Pune are right ahead.
Right.
And I felt somewhat sad that Mumbai was nowhere there in the thing. I think this is the kind of thing that inspires people to work harder in each city. So if you are going to be preparing these statistics, Vikram, I think that they should be let out into the public and say, Delhi is doing better than Mumbai, what are you doing to get up there?
Don't just compete in the IPL, don't just compete in the Kabaddi League, start competing in hygiene.
Yes. Exactly. So I think, this is a great initiative, which is a public-private initiative with RB, USAID, EY and NDTV. And when we started the initiative, we realized two things. One is that if we don't measure, we really don't know where we stand. So first example is everybody wants to be Swachh, everybody wants to do a good thing. Intentions are good, we have funding, but we really don't know what to do and where we stand. So the first, what HI did is it looked at all the factors necessary to go up to a certain ranking. And the second thing is what Amit ji you said about competition. At the end of the day, in a race, you imagine if a person runs alone, I am sure he will or she will run 30% slower than if there are 10 other people running along. I think that's the philosophy, that measure everything that we need to do to improve, and then also get some kind of a competition. At the end, you are right. I mean, I was also sad that Mumbai is not there, though I would say Mumbai is a little bit tougher maybe, but at the same time, why not? I mean,
okay. If I could just spend 5 minutes in looking at the extent of the problem when it comes to solid waste, and I want to get all of our experts in on this question. Is it at this point a crisis? We all knew that open defecation was like a crisis because a large part of the country was practicing open defecation. Waste and solid waste lying around is not sometimes seen as a crisis of the same magnitude, although it could be. With 1 lakh tons of solid waste piling up, on a daily basis, it is going to become a crisis. Landfills are being filled up. You're seeing plastic lying everywhere. You know, we have Gau Rakshaks get so agitated about every time there's a case of a cow being killed, and that they should be agitated. But if you think of the number of cows who die agonizing deaths every single day by eating plastic waste from garbage, it is something that should be causing a lot of us distress. So I just wanted to ask each of you, how serious is the problem and how massive is it? How will it run out of control? Amit ji, let me get your thoughts first on this.
One of the things that we did as a campaign, we talked about it. I did many campaigns towards open defecation. I hope that they've been, you know, at least seen and visualized, and hope to be successful. But again, we can keep doing any number of campaigns, but I think somewhere there has to be a personal contact with people, communities talking, and I keep coming back to this society and keep complimenting them, because you have no idea what a wonderful example you're setting for the rest of the country. And when collectively we think towards one single aim, then we are going to be able to achieve something. So if it's something like solid waste, we need to not just educate them through campaigns, but I think individually, psychologically,
reach out and
we need to keep talking to them.
And one of the ways of doing that is, I think, to also let people know the extent of the problem. It is a serious issue.
Oh yes.
It is a serious issue.
So if there's been a cleanliness drive, for example, and you've cleaned up a street, I think it's not only the responsibility of the agencies to clean up the street, but the people who live on the street to make sure that it remains clean. And when they see somebody, you know, messing it up, they should go personally and stop him or prevent him from doing it, and not wait for any government agency or organization to come and clean it up or build up a campaign. Some kind of personal interaction has to. Psychologically, as one of the students rightly said, and I'm quite amazed that he thought about it, that our basic nature is, you know, to collect garbage and not worry about the neighbor or whatever it is. Things like global warming and environmental activities are words that don't affect us. Well, why not? I mean, I think when you hear a student talking like that, you want to get inspired by that.
Okay. I am going to come back to all the experts, but before that, if you can just go across to the Mahindra World City in Chennai, one of the first cities where actually waste segregation is practiced in every residential project. Red, green, blue bins are used to collect different types of waste. If I can just come across and ask, what is the steps that are being taken out here and how they're being rolled out successfully all through the city?
In segregating the waste in, I'm getting a lot of rebound. I'm segregating the waste into different categories. Basically, and educating the customers to segregate this waste right at the source. In Mahindra World City, we have placed garbage bins of different kinds where they can put in the wet waste, the paper and the inerts. What we do is we collect the food waste and the kitchen waste and send it to the biogas plant that you can see behind me, where the food waste and the kitchen waste is converted into biogas. Next comes the garden and green waste. This is collected and sent to our solid waste management plant, where it is converted into compost. Next, the third one is paper. The paper that we collect from various industries and the residential areas are picked up by recyclers and converted into recycled paper. And last but not the least is the inerts, plastics and such items which we collect and put it into the landfill that we have within the city. So this is as far as the solid waste management is concerned. As far as the wastewater is concerned, we have an STP of 2 million gallons within our premises. All the water is collected and we treat it in a STP, and thereafter it's further treated using filters and it is sent back to the customers in the form of grey water. It is used for the watering of the landscapes, the toilets, and also for washing cars and such uses. So I think the most important thing in waste management is ensuring that we segregate the waste right at the beginning at the source, and also educate our people. They need to understand there has to be a discipline to this. Each and every waste has to be kept separately so that it can be managed efficiently.
Right. Thank you, sir. Any question you have for him, sir?
I really want to compliment you, sir, for this great work that you're doing. And, you know, to have a food waste-free city, the kind of activities that your city is doing, it's quite remarkable. And one of the reasons why we're talking to you today is, of course, to be able to propagate what you're doing to the rest of the country and to have several other examples like yourself all over the country. Thank you so much. How did you actually decide to do what you want to do? I know that collecting wastewater and recycling it for usage again is also being practiced here where we are at the Housing Society. But how did you get this idea? Did someone come and educate you about it? Did you just pick it up on your own? How?
Basically, our business, that is the Mahindra Life Spaces, believes in sustainability. And sustainability is at the core of our business. We believe in creating urban landscapes and that which are sustainable. So the core is, whenever we plan a city, we always think about how do we sustain it by ensuring that we collect waste, we dispose waste in the correct manner. So it is something that our company as a core of our business we believe in. So it's something that I inherited when I joined Mahindra's.
Yeah, I am seeing some children standing there. Maybe I want to get them on what they are doing to actually talk to people around there. What do they have to say? Let me just get one of them to say something. Come on.
Okay, so we are actually studying in Mahindra World School in the premises of Mahindra World City. There, even in the lower classes, we are taught about the 4 R's. That is reduce, reuse, recycle and refuse. So in the lunch break, the children are taught to use lunch trays so that they learn the first step, that is segregation of waste at its source. And even after the construction, the tiles, the broken tiles, they are not thrown away. They are used as an ornamental decoration in pillars. Even after we go out of the school, all around the minor city we have the dustbins.
Yeah, sorry, you have something else to say? Yeah, sorry, you have something else.
We have around the minor city we have 3 types of dustbins which are placed where the plastic, papers and biodegradable things can be segregated and be disposed in those bins. Also the water which is...
Okay, well thank you so much for having joined us from there. These are again really excellent lessons. I'm going to just take another break and...
to say something.
Okay, we will hear them. Hear him also. Okay, we will hear them. Hear him also.
Also the sewage water which is recycled is used to water the lawns. This water is grey water and can be used in toilets. And also
we Mahindra World School students always try to recycle water, and the water is used in putting water to the plants. We reuse and recycle water.
Also, we clean our surroundings so that...
Thank you all so much. I think it's really commendable what you're doing, and that again said the more you get the kids involved in it, the better it is.
Absolutely. So wonderful to hear children talk so eloquently about environment and what they do. And I'm sure they share all these ideas with their fellow kids and encourage them to do a lot of this similar kind of work. Really wonderful to hear them.
All right, so well, as we slip into the break, so our basic message, I'm going to get you to say it again because every time you say it, it has such a powerful impact. Your concept of मेरे 10 गज, अगर आप सबको एक बार फिर से समझा सकें और बता सकें ये मेरे 10 गज का जो concept है, ये क्या है और लोगों को इसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए?
मुझे ऐसा लगा था कि जहाँ हम रहते हैं, अगर 10 गज के दायरे में, उसे हम स्वयं साफ रखें। जितने भी लोग शहर में रहते हैं, जहाँ भी रहते हैं, वो अगर अपने दायरे को 10 गज साफ रखें, इस तरह पूरा शहर जो है वो साफ दिखने लगेगा। तो मैं एक बार फिर आग्रह करूंगा कि जहाँ कहीं भी आप रहते हो, आसपास के वातावरण में जहाँ कहीं भी हों आप, जहाँ आप रहते हैं, जिस घर में रहते हैं, जिस अपार्टमेंट में रहते हैं, 10 गज ज़मीन अगर आपके आसपास उसे आप साफ़ कर रखें तो आप ही की तरह और लोग भी इसे अगर साफ़ रहेंगे तो पूरा जो शहर है वो एकदम साफ़ दिखने लगेगा। यही मेरा आग्रह है और यही मेरा एक बार फिर निमंत्रण है आप सब लोगों को कि इस तरह कीजिए ताकि हम आप लोगों के बारे में ऐसे कार्यक्रमों में बात कर सकें और उदाहरण दे सकें बाकी देश के लिए।
Right, those positive examples are absolutely important, and that's why we're going to highlight them. There are people who've done fantastic work, whether it is some of the schools we are seeing, whether it's the housing society that we are in. These are the examples everyone needs to learn from. And if you start saying, Mere 10 gaz, worry about that, you'll be able to roll this forward much more.